Red dildo party. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, this should retrace up pretty hard, pretty fast. It is not common for ETH or Bitcoin price to want to be this far, like on the 15-minute time scale, to be this far below its 200 EMA. That is not very common. This is a big one. This is like people saying, I'm getting the fuck out of crypto. I just got screwed because I bought stuff, you know, like in April, with Bitcoin being 60K. I'm trying to find a time when price was farther below the 15-minute 200 EMA. This should retrace up, and no, it could go lower, but it's probably going to retrace first. It's not just going to keep going, or it could, but it's not very likely. This is a pretty nasty dip, folks. I think I'd have to go back pretty far to find an example of ETH price going that far below. I think it did it here. Yeah. This was probably 15%. 18%. But it's gonna have a hard retracement up. Like any minute now. But it could be an hour. It might. ETH might come all the way down to 2,500 first. That would be a doozy. Under 35 would concern me. Are you guys hearing me and seeing me okay? Okay. Yeah, the reason this happened is because people are getting that same feeling. I'm selling everything, holding tether right at a potential bottom. I mean, that's what is happening literally right now. A lot of people feeling that way. Up late at night or early in the morning, seeing them like this is especially capitulation of folks who got into crypto in April as Ethereum was doing all this crap, or even slightly before it. And what's compounding matters, though, is what I'm seeing here is that with ETH leading the market, ETH was going up while Bitcoin wasn't. So ETH has a long way it needs to correct. Quite a long way. And if it's leading the market, it's going to pull Bitcoin down with it, even though it's like still above its weekly 10. I mean, it's way above its weekly 10, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, ETH has got quite a ways to go. Well, I guess at this point, it's only $200 more. So that might be part of the reason why, you know, Bitcoin's seen more than a 39% correction, which historically it only does about 38.5 on a deep one. But historically, the likelihood that the dip is done is pretty high. That's exactly a 40% correction. Now, it did get hot too fast, so it would be appropriate to go down slightly farther than it did in 2017, but not a whole lot more. I mean, it got pretty hot right here. Like this was like a 170% run, something like that. Like that was a nasty move. So it tripled without any correction. And then what did it do? I think this was your 38.5%. 39. Yeah. So Bitcoin's only 1% farther into its correction. But the only scary thing about this is how far below its weekly 21 it is. That is no bueno. Let's see how far on a percentage basis ETH and Litecoin did last time. So right now, let's say at 38K, it's 18% below. %15 below. What about Litecoin? %22%. So yeah, it's between there. I mean, I would guess this is we're gonna see a hard bounce from here. Could it go down to 35? Maybe. Yeah, it could, but I think it's gonna bounce pretty hard from here. I think you're about ready to see a pretty decent bounce. Perhaps up to 42K again. So just how things don't go up forever, they don't go down forever. Yeah, that's deep. All right, let me look at your questions. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to cool off because the carnage can't just keep. I mean, I guess it could technically, but things snap back to their averages, whether it's on a crackhead time frame or not. And just seeing how far ETH got below this, the 15-minute 200 EMA, which is a pretty important line. I use that quite a bit when I'm being a crackhead. I just honestly, I don't know. Like, it does not do that very often. Didn't I find it a case back here? Oh yeah, it did it here really deep. Yeah. That one was a doozy too. That was nasty, but it wicked right back up. So it went 17% below. And what happened? Had an extremely tough retracement right back up to the averages. So I think that's what's about ready to happen. I think it's about ready to retrace really hard and snap right back to 3,200 or so. If not higher. Yeah, I think it's getting ready to snap right back up. But it might give a couple more pushes down before it does. But I have a feeling that's going to be your snap up. And plus you have 4-hour candle support over here too. Pretty obvious play. A lot of people are stepping in to be buyers in Ethereum. And as Bitcoin is hitting some pretty clear levels too. But the bigger levels down here at 38K though. This is that's a weekly horizontal. But then again, it's pretty damn far below. This is deep. This is people capitulating. But this is when you want to be buying. I actually just bought, like, with no leverage, I just bought Dash. I might go buy more. But I want to see if this actually starts snapping back or not. Dark gray line. Yeah, let's see about the gray line. Let's see it. I bet Bitcoin's below its damn gray line. Oh yeah, it's way below it. Yeah, this is a deep ass correction. Yeah, that gray line, I mean, you know, I don't want to say this is a bear market, but it doesn't work in bear markets. That's a typical bull market dip indicator, which statistically works extremely well. And it probably still working on a lot of alts too. I mean, go to Viacoin. Did Viacoin finally hit my targets of like $1.09? Oh, check it out. Booyah, it did. And I don't think it's done. Yeah, guys, people are capitulating right now. This is when you want to be buying. So my play on OLT, having that as my tether, was the wrong call. Actually, I'm not down too far on it. It's not bad. This hasn't moved hardly at all. I bought it under the gray line. Maybe that wasn't a horrible call. I knew I was taking a gamble with it, but Yeah, I might deploy some of it soon. And I'll do it on a retracement. I'll put some limit orders just above or something. But and again, for the Patreon community, I said I'd promise I would show you how I sold it, so it's locked in time, so you can see. Excited if some of you hold it. But yeah, Trias was falsely propped up. I mean, if you have a community propping stuff up in a dip in a red week, like, or you know, just a choppy red market, you know, you're just asking for it. I got the hell out when I saw it was too far above this line. Now it does play the 2-hour one though, and it just did it. Check it out. Look, exactly. So it hit it's right at hit my target. And it's probably going to hit it. But I think people are stepping and buying it before it gets to that obvious point. People who want this more. Yeah, you got a lot of buyers stepping in right there. Somebody on my last video said, I don't think it'll get that low. I was like, then I heard, no, he said, I don't believe it'll get that low. And I said, well, you'll believe it when you see it. Yeah, I mean, that's why I buy this gray line so much. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good buy for that. It could go a little lower. It could break down here, $6, but that's pretty unlikely. You're not, you know, people would have to capitulate pretty hard to get to that point, because you're having a lot of buyers step in here, and I think Ethereum and Bitcoin are getting ready to bounce up. So yeah, that was probably it for now. Yeah, Trias got to $9.50. Exactly like I said it probably would. Yeah, I know it's not funny, but I let you guys know before I got there. So, you know, sometimes in crypto, you got to believe that you don't have to believe stuff. You have to imagine it. Just imagine that. Like, who cares if you agree? You don't need to agree. Your money doesn't care if you agree. You need to be able to imagine it, right? Because you have to be prepared for it. If you're sitting there believing stuff, belief, it closes your ears and your mind. That type of belief closes your mind. The possibility. You don't want to believe stuff in price action. You know, like, that's a horrible word to use, really. You honestly, in crypto, you shouldn't believe anything, except for that Bitcoin will do well. Maybe that is kind of my basis for even being in crypto, because I do believe in Bitcoin as being used by humans instead of and it helping multiple countries in the near future relinquish the government grasp of printing monopoly money and impoverishing them and funding wars with printed money. I do believe in that one thing, but other than that, in terms of price, I don't believe anything. That's silly to believe stuff. Yeah, don't. No, I'm not saying belief in general, like religious terms. I'm not saying that. And technically, to believe in religious, you know, stuff, you actually would have to open your mind and imagine, because that's part of what faith is. So I guess it's kind of inverse for religious purposes. You technically need to be able to imagine and have that type of faith. But yeah, in price action, yeah, you shouldn't be believing anything. It will close your mind. Okay, so let's go look at Bitcoin, though. It's not a very big retracement up. Yeah, that's getting a nice bounce. Yeah, so it just can't stay. It can't go that far under. Now, can it go lower after? Yeah, but it has to snap back up. And really, if you don't have ribbons, for folks who aren't in Patreon community, I have a charting video to show you how to set up your chart just like mine. If you go to the 15-minute, when you're doing like fast action decision stuff, the 15-minute, if you just remove everything and put the just put something like the 10 and the 200, really, the price does not like to go too far above or below that 200. It just doesn't. I mean, look at it. Look at how many times it reverts back to it. Even if it's screaming up, it'll revert back to it.
screams up, it reverts back to it. Like honestly, the 15-minute 200 on all assets for intraday plays. So if in one day, let's measure this. So this is in one day. So if you see in one day, like when you wake up, something hitting this line in a decent looking move, right? It just broke above or something and it comes back to retrace on it. If you want to get in and out of a trade, you might just measure up, well, I mean, how high does it usually get above it? Well, here, before it reverted back, it got 6.5. Here it got 6. So yeah, about 6%. So measure up 6% and sell there, like, you know, hours later. So, and you sold it right there. Like, yeah, this is good intraday play where you just want to get in and out of stuff. Just go, booyah, sell. And that's only like 3 hours, 4 hours later. And you're up a good 6%. And if you were using leverage, which I don't suggest to new investors, because you're going to lose your money doing it. I mean, just look at this. Like, this is a really cool line. So because price got so low below it, I know that this is capitulation. This is a capitulation. And you're going to have a nice snap up. And you might have a lower low here later on, but it'll take a few days. Yeah, it's going to snap back up to at least, you know, to this distance away. So maybe around here. I would say it gets up to 3,200 or so. And if it decides to make a higher low, then so be it. Or it could make a lower low. But yeah, it's got to snap back up. It just does. No, I mean, the gray line is intended for bullish markets, folks. So if this is a choppy ass, you know, brutal market, I mean, yeah, it might be a bull market, but this is like, it's not for brutality. Like, if you wanted to make a brutality line, then I could make a brutality line, but you only get 1 or 2 of those chances to hold bull market, so I didn't develop it, you know? I played a line that's playable. And if you're buying under it or at it, I mean, let's just go through it. On your alts, if you were buying at or below that gray line, how good of shape would you be in? Okay, so let's take a look. On Dash, you would be not that bad. Not too horrible. Or if you bought it last time, you'd still be up, right? If you bought it at the gray line last time. Look at Phantom. If you bought the gray line last time, you'd be up. Or you still wouldn't have bought it yet. You're waiting. Phantom's actually looking pretty strong. I'm impressed with that right now. That's... I think the market's separating itself from Bitcoin. And I mentioned that on my channel a while back. I said, I think UE might be witnessing the exact beginning of market separation for the first time from Bitcoin. And I think, honestly, I think that was the very first moment of the lead up. I think that's what's happening right now. Not everything's following Bitcoin. You know, they always have. Yeah, the gray line, you know, you're not too bad off if you waited to buy the gray line. You know, are you 20% down? Yeah, but this is capitulation moment. Just get more if you have more. ADB, if you bought the gray line, how bad off are you? Not bad. Not bad at all. This is why I buy the gray line, folks. Yeah, 20% for crypto. That's not bad. Yeah, this is bloody. Yeah, guys, this is, I mean, if you're selling right now, it's a strong chance you're selling the bottom. No, this will be recorded, Luke. You'll have access to this. You can go back on this, man. It's no problem. Oh, is Cardano dumping? That is surprising me. No, that's not that bad. Yeah, it'll come back to its high. Like, that's pretty normal play. And I warned about that. Like, I said, actually, I used this as a very specific rule. I said, you know what? I would be kind of concerned if Cardano comes back down here and can't hold this as support. If you see daily candles closing below, I would be concerned. So yeah, it's not even there yet. This is all pretty, like, honestly, you know, this is a pretty nasty one for a bull market. I won't lie. Honestly, Bitcoin has never corrected this hard in a bull market. Well, it did once in 2013. It corrected 70%. But this could be the version of that for 20. Yeah, people are capitulating. This is when you want to be buying. Yeah, 40%. That's a pretty big one. That did not happen all of 2017. Hell, Ethereum, I don't even know, corrected that. Did Ethereum correct that far? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. So even though Ethereum didn't correct this far below its 21, Bitcoin went sideways for a long time to allow its 21 to catch up. So maybe it's like an unfair comparison. But I mean, let's just see. From a percentage standpoint, should we be freaking out, right? Bear market talk, right? Look, watch. 64%. It went screaming up. Now, it was a smaller asset, and it did just go straight to the moon with like almost no stopping. I mean, an insane percent. Like, look. Like from its breakout-ish point, maybe there. Yeah, 3,500% run, which is about what Trias just did, 2,000. BPRO did more than that. BPRO did 6,000%, which is why it corrected 78%. And then its next dip, I bet this is still deeper than what Bitcoin's is now. Watch. And it happened twice in a row, right? Yeah, 50%. And then it snapped right back up. So where do you think people were asking, is this the bear market? Was this the bear market? Yeah, they were. And people who knew about the cycles, this is where they're buying. They said, thank you very much for selling. Thank you very much for selling again. And they're probably some YouTubers in there saying, this is the bear market. Thanks for selling. No, I really don't think it doesn't align with anything. Now, but the one concerning thing is that it is this far below its 21. However, if it doesn't get a good reaction up, then I will definitely be very open to entertaining, giving higher probabilities to that thought. However, even if I did, I would still think it's going to be like 2013. I would still think it's going to be more like this, and you're going to get a swoop action, and it's going to freaking skyrocket. I think that is what would happen. All right, let me read some of your questions. Yeah, of course Doge would go up. I mean, it's like honestly, I'm proud of Doge. I mean, it is a real form of currency. Folks who are saying it's a meme coin, it is not. It did start off at, it's not going up. I mean, since it went up so fast, I bet it did a 68, 70% correction. Ooh, it hasn't. It's actually pretty strong. Wow. Doge might have just sealed its place in the top 10. I'm impressed right now. That's actually really impressive. This is the wrong Doge chart. I need to use Poloniex. That's impressive. I would have thought, especially Dogecoin would. Yeah, it broke right through what I thought it was going to do. It's just outperforming all my expectations. Shit, it's using the damn thing as support, not resistance. Look at that. That's crazy. That's strong. That might be among the strongest things in crypto right now. But it's better than BitConnect, which was a scam. That's what got people into Bitcoin in 2017 in high amounts. So this is a real form of currency. I mean, it really, like, it might be adopted first. It really could, folks. It kind of looks like it's going that way. which I'm kind of surprised why folks, you know, would kind of go after an inflationary coin. Maybe the folks behind that, you know, Cuban and Elon or whoever's doing this, you know, I can't remember. I don't follow the news very much, but maybe they think that's a good thing in terms of their long-term plans for using crypto. But then again, Monero's inflationary too. It doesn't have a max supply, so why not use that? It's fungible. Yeah, I know. Bold is actually starting to go up. Like, hey, yeah, pick like a more interesting. Oh, it was going up though. Yeah, Bold. Pick a more interesting time to freaking like, you know, have some nice green candles here during the during capitulation. Bull market capitulation. That was weird. Well, yeah, but then I did mention, you know, under 40, 39.5 was my target. However, the market convinced me that it wasn't going to happen. So I essentially, you know, yeah, at the time I thought, but then I undid my thought. So that kind of undoes the call, but I definitely did say 39.5 on the dot. It got down a little lower. Yeah. I was thinking about here. And then I think it's because the bi-weekly, something on the bi-weekly, I think it was. Yeah, it's got pretty strong support here. Oh, yeah. No, maybe it is the weekly. Monthly? 2-day? Yeah. So, yeah, the 2-day mixed with weekly and bi-weekly, a lot of activity around here. Honestly, this would be a perfect area for it to bottom, though. This is super common. Coming up to your previous all-time high, wicking below, forming a base around it. I mean, technically, this is what like Tone and Cardano are doing too. I mean, just look at Cardano. Like it's coming back down to its previous high. That's all Bitcoin's doing too, if you think about it. Structurally, it's still fine. Like Bitcoin, from a structural standpoint, is perfectly fine. It is the only concerning thing for me is the moving averages. But perhaps I should adjust my parameters for that judgment because it did get too hot too fast. So therefore, I should adjust for a deeper correction, especially got too hot too fast, and then at the very end, at the top, slowed down to let things catch up before it dipped. So that's like two reasons why it would be lower for its weekly 21 than typical. I'm surprised this didn't hold any longer. Yeah, people are capitulating. This is such a good time to be buying. Yeah, all of my altcoins I'm hodling too. I haven't touched my KuCoin account. Didn't touch Shrimpy. Hell, I'm not even that far down on Shrimpy from my good because I only bought under or at the gray line. I'm like 8% down total because I only did super safe entries. I wasn't chasing things, hoping it's gonna go, up. I just wanted. That's all I wanted was safe entries because I knew once the market recovered, it's gonna fly. So therefore, all I cared about was a safe entry. That's all you need. If you can just do safe entries in crypto, you're going to be awesome. You don't have to do fundamental analysis or anything. Just enter it very, very safely. Did BPro break a penny? Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's not good. It's still hanging out at this prior high, though. Yep, there were a lot of BPro holders, and they're capitulating. A lot of people who got in, around here, they just couldn't take it anymore. That's a pretty deep one. This is amazing to watch. So since I've already been through, so if you guys are down a lot of money, I get it. Hopefully it's not your original investment though. But yeah, I'm probably down like $180,000 easily. But the one thing I believe is that Bitcoin's going to stay strong throughout the rest of the bull market. So I'm cool with it. I'm not going to go plus I can't really market sell on you guys because folks who follow my channel buy the same damn coins. So I'm not going to sell anything. I don't want to, like, you know, worsen the capitulation of the crap we hold. So I have to take this hit. I actually kind of locked myself into that position once I realized people were like, not just following my channel, but buying the same coins. Like, fuck, now I can't sell. But I'm fine with that. It's okay. I'm used to the swings. So, yeah, I haven't sold a damn thing. Yeah, my KuCoin account is probably down. I don't know. It's probably down over 150,000 bucks. And perhaps even more from when BPro went up here. My account got, I don't know. It's probably down 50% from when BPro was here. But then a lot of my other coins performed, and you know, so it's not down 80 but BPro was a big portion of my holdings, and I sold around this line. Actually, I did. Like, I sold between 3.6 and actually higher than that. I sold around 3.3 and 4.1 cents. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see 27K coming, but you know, you would get a retracement first. It's not just going to go straight there. It would do something like this, make a higher low. It would have to do it twice. It's not just going to go straight there. It's not going to happen. Stop right there. Yeah, that could happen. But usually coins, you know, cryptocurrencies don't go down to the bottom though. Like, they'll stop at the top of of one of those humps. So I don't think 27's that good of a call, actually, at all. This to come down here is not common. They usually stop at the top or the next like little hesitation zone. So like this is the most common, where, you know, from a prior high relative to this, the most common play is here or a wick below, settles down at that point and then heads up, which might be exactly what it's doing. Or in the middle of this zone, there was support like here, like these wicks and stuff. And this is third most common. Stuff doesn't typically correct down to the previous support of that run. That is very uncommon. So I'm not for sure who was saying 27, but actually 27, it doesn't align with anything. It's not going to stop at 27. Yeah, there's no reason for it to stop at 27. Even if a fib lines there, it doesn't matter. It's not going to do it. Fibs only work when other things align with it, just in case you didn't know. And a lot of times, it's just because so many people use fib so much that it's bound to work a lot of times. But oftentimes, it aligns with the distance from a moving average. Because you got to let moving averages catch up. So when you trace up and guess a height, well, it happens to align with a percentage from. And so I like moving averages more than fibs. Because it works the same way. But fibs do work, but they work for a reason. It's mostly because of price goes back to the moving average after a certain point. That's why they work, I believe. I mean, that's my understanding of it, but anyway. Yeah, it could be Wyckoff. What's TW? Oh, too mad? Why are people saying too mad? Oh, it's just Christian. Christian, what are you doing, dude? What is too mad? I don't know what that is. Yeah, let's summon some diamonds. Diamonds aren't losing their value. If you had bought recently, sure. But over time, if you make a habit out of that in unleveraged trades, because you're not having safe entries, it will eat your account, is how I would argue that. But yeah, there absolutely. But that's also kind of like saying, that's kind of avoiding the conversation of profitability over time. So I've done a lot of unleveraged trading. And over time, all the times you got wicked out when it wasn't a capitulation, it would add up to a bigger amount than what this is happening. But yeah, I mean, these are times when you could just market sell out. And that's what's happening. That's what exactly this is. Like a lot of people are doing that. So yeah, if you have very safe entries, which I just showed you, right? If you were buying the gray line, for example, in almost all instances, even during this, you would still be pretty okay, like just fine. So that it would be my argument for that. However, I've never told anybody not to use them. I've let people know through my experiences, I have found that it's less profitable to do that. Therefore, I enter very, very safely. That is my strategy. I don't try to chase like stuff like this and then set a stop loss just in case it doesn't stay green forever. So that would be my argument. That's a good question, though. I don't know what 𝘂𝐤𝙣 is. Yeah, if BTC hits 0, I'm buying all of it. All right, dude. Well, that's enough of the 𝘂𝐤𝙣 stuff. Can't be like doing that. Gray line, join the Patreon and become a crackhead or a higher tier. That's how you do it. Yeah, it's essentially for safe entries in bull markets, essentially. So it helps newer folks just visualize, wait, is this too hot? Am I getting a good deal on this or not? Or am I buying when it's really far away from it? It just, and so if you can simply be a safe entry crypto investor, you're going to be well off, even during times like this, like I just showed. Yeah, like safe entries is like the key to everything. But if you compound that with taking profits and not being a buyer and prayer, then moments like this, you have more tether because you'd been taking profits at places, right? So yeah, that's why my channel does. It helps you enter safely and take profits. So you have tether when you need it. Or you can redeploy it into another breakout, right? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of coin reviews, but I mean, you got to be careful from coins from this time frame. A lot of them have died. I mean, it lost 99.8% of its value. And a lot of coins that started around this time, 2018, 2017, the founders of if it were a non-monetary coin, so I don't know much about this, but if this were a project with a white paper, that's not a form of money exclusively, they ran out of money to fund their project because no one was buying their coins anymore. That's what Cardano's doing. Cardano has no revenue, for example, so it can only operate if people keep buying Cardano coin. It cannot operate without you guys buying it. So this ran out of other people's money, essentially. And if Cardano ran out of other people's money, it would close its shop too immediately. It does not have revenue. It would close down and be done. However, but that's true for most coins in crypto, right? Like, I'm not just picking on Cardano. It's just a lot of people don't understand that about one of the biggest assets within crypto. it would close its doors without your money. As weird as that sounds, but it's true. So I would be really weary of this from a technical standpoint. It just had the weekly cross, which in the community, we all know what that means. Plus added retracement. And I would wait for the retracement at least below its weekly 10. But I'm kind of surprised that it's still above its weekly 10 during this capitulation. It's not a bad sign, but it's hard to ignore all this stuff. So I would look into this, make sure it's not dead, first off. But even if it were dead, you can still make money off of it because spots traded. So I did a quick like 3.6x or something like that in 5 days out of a dead coin. Force Plus. I tried it on 2 other coins and it never took off, so I just got rid of it. End of the month Trias? No, that ain't. I mean, yeah, and you know, like I said, you got to imagine. Yeah, if you can imagine it, sure, maybe. But here's why it won't do that. I'll show you right now. Here's why that won't happen. Actually, unless my trend line actually goes to 100 this month. Let's see. Oh shit, it does go past. So yeah, actually it could happen. You're right. That actually is totally feasible. Yeah, it actually could get to like 160. Yep, my mistake. That is totally within a charting perspective. It's actually kind of reasonable. So, good thing I double checked, but because the coin circle is so low, it seemed like a big number, but it's really not. And for this low coin circle, yeah, I could absolutely hit that high. Hit it higher too. It just depends on what day of the month or what week of the month it really starts charging up. So the earlier it charges, the lower it would go. Like if it charged up real high on the 22nd of May, it'd probably top out around 80. It's just, there are going to be too many sellers stepping in here. It's so easy to connect prior highs. Too many people will be selling. And honestly, the rest of the bull run is probably not going to get above this because this would take it to like millions of dollars if you just extended this till January 1st next year. So it's probably only going to hit this trend line, you know, a few more times, I would assume. But I don't want to make assumptions. Let's see. Yeah, it would be in like, you know. The hell is this line? What was it doing? All right, there's December. Oh yeah, like it would be in the millions of dollars. So yeah, it actually can't play that trend line too many more times. But it could play it once or twice more. It might play it once or twice more. But then it's going to start playing a less aggressive trend line. It might start playing this. And at one point it probably will. Or if it makes another high, like this hits it, then it would do this. That's probably the trend line it'll play next. And then it'll play an even lower one after that, because this would still take it way too high. Yeah, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, that would be like 10,000. Yeah, so then it would pick a less aggressive slope after a couple. So it'd probably hit this once or twice. Maybe something like that. But it might not ever hit this line again. So we'll see. But if it does, it'll probably be the last time. Or second to last time. It won't. It can't hit it much longer. And hopefully that makes sense by now after everybody saw why that made sense on B-Pro. And even though I made sense of it as it was happening, and everybody said, no, what if it goes farther? Like, no, it's not. Because it goes to millions of dollars if it does. Therefore, it's not possible. Hopefully that math makes sense, like to those people, not talking to you all like that, but yeah, it will only hit that trend line once or twice more, period. That's it. And it might not ever hit it again. Yeah, so if it doesn't hit it again, it's going to play this. So then it would top out about 50 something. It just really depends on this next push. So I'll leave these two trend lines here. Just kind of depending on where it might go. Yeah, I mean, we'll try us, you know. I keep telling people weekly 10 in a bull market, weekly 10 EMA, weekly 10 EMA. Oh, wait, what would have been a great buy here? The weekly 10 EMA. Yeah, this is like the most no-brainer buy in all of crypto on altcoins. Safe entries. If you bought the 10 EMA last time, you would have bought it at $7.30. Still be looking pretty good. Yeah, if something's far above its 10 EMA, honestly, and you're buying it, it's not a safe entry. And the chance of you getting wrecked is pretty high. So don't do that again. Just wait for it to come down, even if it's 2 months later. Or what would be better is, if you need to deploy Tether, go find another asset that looks okay. In the meantime, hitting it so that when it charges up, you take profits. And by the time you take profits, maybe Trias is closer to the 10 EMA, for example. But you don't want to enter if it's that far above its 10 EMA. It's not smart. It just isn't. And I've been super clear, like even on the public YouTube channel, like this is your no-brainer entry, people. I'm not sure why people, you know, more folks in crypto don't know that, but I'm kind of glad they don't because I can still buy it. Because if everybody were doing it, then it probably, you know, a lot of stuff would, you know, charge up just before it, or it'd mess up a lot of my plays. So I'm kind of glad people don't do it. My wife wants a divorce. Hopefully that, I'm hoping, hopefully that was a joke. Uh-oh, we got XRP fans in the house. Yeah, I can't say anything about XRP. The XRP army is fucking strong. I will give y'all that. And honestly, it looks great. XRP is one that looks even stronger than Doge. That's looking great. That's way more impressive right now. Yeah, XRP could easily, with this fractal, easily get to $10 this year. And I can't remember what fractal it was, but it was this one right here. So if it just does what it did from August last year, again, it'll hit $10. That's all it's got to do. Yeah, $10 XRP this year is pretty reasonable. But really, that's not very big gains. That's not even 10x from here. If you're buying it down here, what is it? Yeah, sure. That's 40x. That's pretty good for a big cap. That's actually really good. And that means you bought it before the bull market started, which you probably didn't. Well, actually, no. A lot of XRP fans are OGs in the industry. The reason I'm not a huge fan of XRP, even though, you know, I'm not opposed to making money from it, it's it literally is anti-Bitcoin. The purpose of it was sincerely a bet against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's play was anti-institutions, to give people the power of money back, since the government can both make laws and print money, that have the control of the money supply. Bitcoin's bet was the people will want this back, it will take off. That's Bitcoin's bet. XRP's bet was like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Let's just play with the current system and integrate cryptocurrency within the current system we have, instead of trying to like revolutionize, you know, reinvent the wheel. And that was XRP's bet. And honestly, that is a fair bet. If you think about it, betting on the trend as opposed to betting on the reinvention of the wheel, it's not a bad bet. I'm not going to lie. And honestly, it might be a safer bet. However, it's not a bet that I would take. Because why wouldn't governments just make their own cryptocurrency? So there are also flaws in that bet as well. But it is not a bad bet for crypto. I will give XRP. That's why I don't piss with XRP people. First, your army's strong. Second, it honestly is a reasonable freaking bet. Like, you know, to believe in that project. Now, am I surprised this is all happening before the SEC lawsuits figured out? I'm sort of kind of surprised, but you know what you could be setting yourself up for is people pushing news in crypto space that actually is embellishing the truth of, oh, we're fine. Oh, yeah, it's looking pretty good. You know, it could be an embellished truth. You're only getting one version of the story, and there are always more than one version. So, I mean, for XRP holders, I don't want to see anybody get wrecked, but I really hope that that's what's not happening. Hell, I want it to go to $10 for you and celebrate with you. I mean, it's a win for crypto, even though technically it's not technically a cryptocurrency, but yeah, I mean, it's in the crypto space. It's kind of been accepted as a cryptocurrency, and I'm a capitalist. I like to see people make money, so I hope it hits $10. Yeah, I like Litecoin. Honestly, I use Litecoin and Tether more than any other cryptocurrency by a mile. Litecoin's a great bet, honestly, and they got good marketing power. I mean, yeah, I like the Dash bet too, but yeah, Litecoin's a fantastic hold till the end of the year. Yeah, so oh, where's the bounce? Yeah, it's a good question. Let's see. It bounced. Might be forming a higher low before it goes higher. Yeah, that was a bounce. I mean, that's several percent. Not a very big bounce, though. The hell? I just pressed this like 5 times. Yeah, that's I mean, a 5% bounce on an asset's huge. Especially an asset that big. However, that is pretty concerning. It didn't get any closer to the... Shit, it might just keep tanking. Yeah, it got rejected from its 10 on the 15-minute. That ain't good. Shit, this ain't... I mean, it might have just been forming a higher low. That sometimes happens to give it the juice power, like to go, okay, now I'll retrace up closer to this line that I have drawn, but I would obviously prefer, you know, to see more confidence immediately. But yeah, this looks okay. It has a chance. I still think it'll bounce. Yeah, I think it'll bounce pretty hard. But we'll see. It could take another leg or two down. I mean, honestly, Ethereum, the daily 55 is just around the corner. It could go, oh, it almost hit it. Yeah, it's going to bounce. It might actually come down to touch it and then bounce. Yeah, this is a common play. So, I mean, just look how perfectly, like, look. See how close it got there in a quick wick, and then what did it do? Bounced right back up on that, you know. Here, it actually went below it, bounced right up. Formed a base around it, went up. Yeah, the daily 55 is a really common play. It's a really good line to buy if you can ever catch it. Can't catch it too many times in a bull market, though, especially with smaller alts. Yeah, the likelihood of getting a bounce from here is really high for multiple reasons across the both leaders of the market, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Sell in May, that would have been a great idea. Up here, not sell in May down here. Yeah, selling Ethereum in May, anytime in May, would have been not a bad idea. Yeah, so from here you'd be in profit, and you'd buy back lower. However, the market got hot. Like it started looking confident. This was a very And that with that whole Wyckoff distribution thing, I mean, what I've said in my Patreon community is the one thing that I agree with those theories with is that a lot of this, especially in the Bitcoin market, was propped up and fabricated per all my previous theories that actually ended up playing out when I was being mocked at, calling it a dump, like when, Bitcoin was like here and stuff. Called it there, like, and over here. And here, I was saying, I think it's going to dump. And here. After I hit that origin line, I was like, all right, this might be the time. Yeah, I was going back here. It's just, yeah. And then when Ethereum started taking off throughout all this, it's like, well, I think the market's going to recover. So it actually convinced me that this wasn't going to happen, even though I was like, the first YouTuber talking about these exact levels while I was getting laughed at. I even got duped into believing the market was bullish. So I got led one way, and it got me. I did not think this was going to happen at this time. Yeah, and it's not just the Bitcoin chart that looks, I mean, actually it was held up. Like, that's already been confirmed. But so that's that part of the Wyckoff theory is actually accurate. However, what's perhaps even worse in terms of being held up and fabricated or just orchestrated purposely is perhaps the push on Ethereum, the push on Cardano to lead people to believe this is a great time to be putting, this is a pull, like, okay, this little dip is over. This is over. As Bitcoin's getting choppy, Ethereum's like skyrocketing, Cardano's getting really confident, starts skyrocketing, especially here. Gets the whole market confident, and then bam. Like, that seems very orchestrated, that Cardano starts skyrocketing there, breaking out, and then booyah, in your face. I don't know. Or it might not be fabricated. Maybe the separation from Bitcoin, since it's never happened before, it's going to take a little while before it gets its wrinkles ironed out. Maybe it itself, that idea itself, has been causing this, this chaos. But obviously not this. This was definitely orchestrated in Bitcoin itself. But paired with the potential separation of the markets, that could be what's causing a pretty nasty bull market dip. Yeah, this is a great time to be buying stuff, folks. I mean, not financial advice. Talking about buying Pokemon cards, but yeah, really, Bpro just hit its daily 200. That's a really deep dive in a bull market, though. But historically, across all assets, it's typically a great buy, like a really good one. I'm surprised it hit it. That's a really, so did Bitcoin, though. See, Bitcoin's, yeah, that's actually kind of concerning. If it doesn't rebound from here, I will probably start thinking it might be, I might start thinking it's probable that a 2013 swoopy loop is going to happen like this. Yeah, if Bitcoin does not rebound from here, it'll become more probable that it does something like this. And then just skyrockets. But really, that pattern is just something it already did twice. Look. Wah, 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 wah. So it forms like a little, I don't know, like an elephant head with the trunk, spraying water at you in India or something. Looks like a car now. Looks like a car with headlights. But yeah, this little formation, though. Or maybe a duck. Quack. Yeah, it's a duck. It's a duck bill. But really, that typically leads to power moves. I mean, like here. So, but it might do this on a larger scale. So if we just take that and kind of take a fractal of it and see what it looked like stretched out. That's not what she said there, but so take it there, there. See how that fits? That would bring you down to 39. Oh, look at that. From top to bottom. That's an exact fractal. Flies up to 150, and that's not even by the end of the year. So yeah, something like that could exactly happen. And well, kind of makes me think that was it then. That's a pretty common play, and I mean that happened several times. But that's weird how that it's like pretty damn well. Wow, interesting. But it could actually be deeper than that. So I could keep going, stretch it out to the end of the year, see what happens. Yeah, that would be pretty insane if that were to happen. Here's your 27K. Right there. There's your 27. That actually is pretty reasonable. I mean, still, that would still give it time to get past a 250,000. Last few weeks, starts charging up. Zoom, zoom, zoom. You could hit 300,000 with this. Yeah, I guess that's, I mean, it makes sense. It would make sense in terms of Bitcoin's actual movement and how it's moved before. But it just doesn't align with anything. I don't think that's going to happen. It aligns with nothing. It's not going to be 27 aligns with nothing. It's not going to hit 27 on the nose. It'll either go to like 24 or like 30. More likely it would be like 35.6. Even more likely than that is that it wicks up and it starts correcting from here. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, from a structural standpoint, a posture standpoint, that's actually totally reasonable. It's just the exact point to which it dips, doesn't? Because it's not just going to stop there. Things don't turn around in no man's land. It just really doesn't happen. Unless you're a super young asset, then you have to form your own levels somehow. Yeah, I actually would expect a dip like this in September. Perhaps not a 40% Bitcoin dip like we just got. But 35, absolutely. Yeah, we might get 3. Just depends. It's a 40% dip. I mean, statistically, that might have been it, guys. The trend is your friend, and the trend is 35 to 39% dips. 2 to 3 times in a bull market. I mean, yeah, that might be about it. We'll see. Yeah, we can look at EQZ. It's kind of like a community coin. And as you guys can tell, I still have it's not even bothering me that much. I just can't breathe very well, but it was in my throat during the weekend. And when the things were crashing the first time, I literally just couldn't talk. So I couldn't do anything. Like I could, type at you, but that's boring. Like I don't want to do that. My brain isn't working. EQZ. I have to grab a snack here. Please don't tell me this was another coin that the community that leached off my community was pumping. Yeah, it's probably going to come down to here. No, it could stop here. There's a wick, so it could rebound from there. We're here. Yeah, it looks like it wants to hit here. I don't see it stopping in no man's land here. This is like... Or unless this portion becomes a wick and it levels off here and then bases off. That actually could happen. That's a pretty severe dip. My God.
Safe entries, people. Safe entries. This won't happen to you. I really hope folks in my community were not, trying to, like, get together and pump this. Don't try pumping stuff in a choppy, nasty market. Just don't understand. I just don't understand. But hopefully now, people realize it's not going to help them. Guaranteed almost everybody gotten screwed, about everybody falling, those types of lead, whether it's a pump group, that essentially kicked out of my community or not. Just there are other pump groups out there. They're getting screwed right now because they're not traders. They don't know how to trade. They're convincing people to buy assets altogether. They're essentially fundraisers, which a skill of fundraising is actually a good skill set to have. But if you're using it properly, yeah, that's pretty bad. People were buying when it's too hot. It wasn't a safe entry. That's what happens. It's pretty bad. It's real bad. Yeah, so now y'all see why I had to put an end to that. I already know it's bad news. It's like super bad news. Maybe doing it a couple times with a few coins during a really hot market as it's starting to take off, maybe. I would have been cool with that. But I had to nip that in the butt, or in the bud. I had to boot that out immediately because I just knew it was going to hurt people. And I guarantee a lot of people got hurt from following those leads. Well, and then, folks who aren't used to trading in numbers, being convinced by somebody who knows better, trying to say these calls are all amazing. Ah, man, that's really bad. But literally within 1 hour of my finding out, I put it into it within 1 hour, literally. Now, is it my fault? Should I have made better? Should I have more things in place to have caught it earlier? Yes, and I will next time if that happens again. But so part of it is definitely my fault. But I stress safe entries and taking profits. So, I mean, the basis of my channel and what I try to stress to people to be safe, it's totally against this. So. I just don't know how, honestly, mine would be the last community where you would expect this to happen. Because it's so far away from safe entries and taking profits that, I don't know. I'm just kind of surprised. Yeah, I would see it coming down here. Well, I mean, it's possible that originally they had good intentions, and then when they realized how much money they made off convincing people to buy it, as they sold it on your faces, it maybe just greed. I think it probably started off as good intentions until they saw how much money they made from convincing people to buy it after they bought it. Yeah, and this is capitulation from people being led into buying stuff. If you would have bought it at the red line, like I had been suggesting, this capitulation never would have happened. But this is going to snap right back. Yeah, this will snap way back. Shit, I might go buy some more right now. That's a steal. Yeah, and I still stake all my coins. I'm heavy into this coin. Heavy. Like it's a good 10% of my portfolio, which might be, it keeps going back and forth between BPRO, but of any one chunk, West, probably Idea. I think I have more percentage portfolio in Idea than I have in any other percentage. And it's maybe like 9 or 10%. So I have a very diversified portfolio. It might only be like 8%. I don't know. I think it's less than 10. I don't think anything I hold is more than 10% of my portfolio.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened within the community, folks. Like, but yeah, I mean, especially when my whole intent is to help you not get screwed. It's okay though. Just don't do it again. Like, feel the pain and know better next time. And that's part of learning. Sometimes doing things the wrong way is like a fantastic way to learn, as long as it doesn't scare you out from coming back or lands you in the hospital when you die. Like, if it's a physical thing you learn from, then, well, doesn't kill you, it makes you better, right? So that kind of saying, if that makes any sense to other people outside of the US. I mean, I don't know if I would be trying to catch a knife right now, folks. I would have tried to long it at that line, 260. Or put a lot of buy entries between here, here, like this. Spread them out. This would be my area of interest. Yeah, because once it broke through this and Ethereum kept going down, I would have said, well, it's going to crash through that too. I might have tried to get some buy orders straddled around here, though. But I probably would have aimed lower. And so only half of my stuff. Yeah, but I don't want to try to catch a knife. I would prefer to get into a higher low. Or what I was trying to do up here was catch a bounce and get completely out and take all my profits. That's what I was wanting to do. But for like a longer hold, yeah, I prefer doing higher lows. It's just easier. Do you miss some of the move? Yeah, but over time, it's actually more profitable. Because all the times you get stopped out here, or, yeah, assuming you're not letting yourself get liquidated. I mean, I would wait till a higher low, folks. If you want to get in on Dash, I would wait for a higher low on the 2 hour. I wouldn't try it, because you will get a higher low. Or you're going to get a lower low, right? So because of that exact thought, that is guaranteed. One of those two will happen. It is an inevitable fact. So either you're going to get a higher low, or you're going to get a lower low that you can enter along. So either way, trying to plan for this with the idea that if this happens, I'm also prepared. It's simply better than trying to catch this drop, right? I mean, but even if it did this, I would ease in and get out of my profits immediately after it retraced, and I would try to catch the higher low to hold. So anytime I think I catch a bottom like this, whenever it retraces up to, I don't know, roughly, I usually take the 4 hour. Once it pokes its head above the 4 hour 10 EMA, I take my profits. And I know it's going to retrace at some point, even if it might skyrocket up a little bit. It's going to retrace, especially sometime just after this. And sometimes when you get an aggressive move up, it'll go all the way to the daily 10. Not during deep dives like this, typically, but it could. And so could Bitcoin. Bitcoin could seriously race right back up to like 53K easily. So Dash's daily 10 is here, but by the time it recovers, if it were to bounce, so this applies to Bitcoin and everything. So let's say the daily 10's making its way like this. Once it poked its head up above it, I would take, and I had caught this knife, I know that it's either going to make a higher low or a lower low. Therefore, I'm taking profits, and I'm aiming to get back in one of these. And if it ends up being a lower low, I will do the same thing. If I catch it, I will wait till it pokes its head up across the 4 hour 10 EMA, take all my profits, get fully out, and expect to try to get a higher low. That's how I do things, because it freaking works. I mean, if you think about it so simply, sometimes it makes things easier. It's either definitely going to make, like in a retracement, it's going to retrace, period. Either will be a higher low or it will be a lower low, guaranteed. So why not take profits, before that happens, right? So you have more money to long it at a nice position too, or potential to have more money longing it even lower at a great position, right? So Yeah, it simply makes logical and mathematical sense to play that way. Instead of like trying to catch a knife and hold it for the rest of the year, like, no, the chances, like, why see your profits go down after it retraces, right? Just take your profits and use more money to long here. It's more profitable in the short and long-term time frame, like, you know, like immediately and forever. So yeah, I wouldn't try to just hold longs forever. I mean, I circled this for a reason because I really, you know, this is my area of interest of buying somewhere between the wick and the candle, and you're right, it's literally between there now. I would feel comfortable picking this up. This is a safe entry. Yeah, let's see where it is with the gray line. Yeah, it's under it. Yeah. So I would have been comfortable picking up here and here also. So if you had been doing that, practicing safe entries, how bad off, and you did it just under a wick, right? You'd only be 17% down, or no, actually not even 17% down. 11%, 12% down. Yeah, that's pretty good for a capitulation. That's what safe entries get you. You're never really down that much, even if you bought it at the wrong time, but you're right, you're buying it at a good level. You're rarely down very much. Yeah, from your entry. Now, if you bought it way back here and you saw your account go to 100,000 and now you're down to like 80,000, yeah, that's your account going down, but your original money in is not. That's what I'm focusing on. Your original money, if you're a safe entry practicer, as opposed to trying to pump coins or just not practicing safe entries, you know, safe entries are going to win. They will win out. Yeah, I think Presley's looking pretty solid right here, actually. This looks okay. This looks pretty good, actually. It's not far below. It's yeah, I mean it's right around this point. So let's see what Phantom ended up. Phantom was holding strong. Yeah. Oh. And it did get, oh, it did hit my 25-cent mark. I didn't know it did. I thought it stayed around 29. So there you go. So I had a lot of people who didn't believe me I was going to hit this. I said first most probable 25, second most probable 29, third most probable 6. Oh, no, it wasn't. I think I said first most probable, second most probable, third most probable. And this was months ago, like when it was here. No one believed me. Or I guess some people did, but I did not know it hit that line. Interesting. Yeah, I really thought I haven't looked at it since here. Really. I guess I was looking at it up here, but I didn't look back. I thought this 29-cent dip was all it did. So this makes me happy. There you go. Another moment where I was letting people know, I think it's going to hit this. No way it goes that low. Just like with people at Trias, I said, I think $9.50 or 30 cents is, I would have it, and I don't believe it'll go that low, right? Really, the only thing that hasn't dipped to the point I thought was Cardano. Cardano is the only thing for which I guessed a dip where it didn't hit it. The only thing. In Ethereum, in terms of its bullishness, I did not think it was going to do this. But I wasn't calling a dip. But I was totally, like, my calls on Ethereum have been pretty bad. It way outperformed any expectations I had. Now, once it started doing this, I realized, shit, it's going to scream. But yeah, there's that bounce. So whoever's asking where's the bounce, your bounce is coming. It's coming. I'm telling you guys, I've been looking at charts for a long time. If I say something you don't believe it, you probably need to adjust your calibration to, okay, let's at least put a 10% possibility of what that dude on the internet just said as possible, even though there's just no way, but it's 10% possible. it'd probably be a good choice to recalibrate your expectations of your guesses, especially if they're a lot different than mine. But I'm actually surprised. A lot of people just like, they know that they haven't seen price a lot, and they just, they say, okay, that they erase their preconceived notions on how low something can go, and they trust it, which those people bought Phantom at 25 cents and they bought Veracity on the point where I mentioned I would take profits. Yeah, I know this stuff's hard to believe, guys, but once you see price so much on a volatile assets like this, you'll get more comfortable with it, and then you'll be the person telling people, I think it'll hit this, and those new people will be the ones saying to you, I don't believe it can go that low, and you're just like, okay, just wait. Might take a month, but just wait. It's gonna do it. But Cardano's the only thing that didn't hit any of my targets. Everything's bearish. What are you talking about? No, it's actually looking pretty good. That's the 1 hour gray line. Fuck, that's awesome. I bet only things like VeChain are above its one. I bet VeChain's not even above its 1 hour gray line. It might be though. Nope. Yeah, exclusive coins looking better than VeChain by a mile. I'm actually impressed. That's actually really impressive. I need to get on Bittrex and get some, but no, I'm actually not. I actually started feeling bad that I hold coins that y'all are buying. So I'm not going to buy it. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't want to feel like I'm making gains off of having a community. It honestly makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. So I don't want to do that. And plus, if I wanted to do it and I ever wanted to market sell, I can't. I couldn't like ethically do that. I would feel too bad. But yeah, I mean that's kind of impressive right there. So the 1 hour gray line means it's a more aggressive slope, which means stronger bull move. And it's always higher up. It moves faster than the 4 hour. So the 4 hour one's going to be way down here, probably, I think. See, way down there. So if it's still at its 1 hour, that means like this has a lot of buy pressure behind it. And not even VeChain's above that. I don't know if we're going to be able to find a single coin above it. 1 hour. Nope. Not even Trias. Exclusive coins holding strong. But it's a smaller market, so people know it's a super low cap, and like, why would I sell it? Like, I bought it at a super low cap anyway. It's like 1 million cap. Who cares? Right? So that's probably why it doesn't have much sell pressure, because people know they are getting it so low on a market cap basis that there's literally no point to sell it. Hopium, I have been. I've been measuring percentage decreases. Let you know that, hey, this dip is only 1% greater than the dip of July 2017. It's only 1% bigger. Actually, less than 1%. So this is totally normal. That's your hopium. Is this normal? Fuck yeah, it is. This is totally normal. Is it on the higher end of normal? Yes. But as cryptoians, crypto crackheads know, the faster you go up, the hotter, if you get too out too fast, you go down a little more. So it makes perfect sense. So this is totally reasonable. That's your hopium. And it makes mathematical sense. And the Bitcoin's posturing looks freaking fine. It literally just came back down to test the previous high. That's all it did. Everything's doing that. What did Phantom just do? It took off, came back down to test this high area. Right? Like, everything's doing it. It's okay. What would that mean for Ethereum? Shit, that means it might come down quite a ways. Shit. Ethereum did that. That meant 26. It almost got there. It was only $200 away. Cardano coming down to, test previous highs. Like this is, so for even from a posturing standpoint, this is completely normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary about coming down to test previous high after some consolidation, toppy stuff. Yeah. Posturing's normal. The percentage decrease is normal. The only thing that's not normal is how far under its 21 it is, but that's all because it wasn't normal how fast it went up either. It wasn't normal how long it consolidated at the top of a range, which allowed the 21 to move up faster. So therefore, when it did finally do something normal in this regard, what wasn't normal is how high the 21 was. So perhaps the distance under the 21 that it is being too much distance, in my opinion, it's because of this not being normal and all this not being normal. So honestly, this is totally normal. Like this movement here, completely normal. Look at this, guys. Look. Did you see what I just freaking did? This is your hopium, biatches. It's exactly what I did in July 2017. This is totally normal. Told you. Look at this. Look at that shit. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. We're talking about dildos, so oh my gosh, look at that. You guys know what I'm referencing. Actually, I'm actually kind of surprised that just happened. That is almost too perfect. That's stupid. Wow. So yes, hopium complete. Drum, wait, drum. Yeah, totally normal. I just proved it to you. Literally just copy pasted previous dip. 2017, the one I was talking about. To a whole video like this. No, that's me picking on my 9-year-old daughter. I walk up to her and start talking to her like that. Especially when she's watching stuff that is just like, I think it's shrinking your, like, this is shrinking your brain. Stop watching this crap. What are you watching? So then I talk to her like that. And she thinks it's pretty. She's still at the age where she thinks I'm funny. Even when her friends are around. Because then her friends are really laughing too. And so she's not quite embarrassed of me yet. But it'll happen. So, I mean, I think I need to readjust my expectations of the weekly 21 through what I was just saying. I think I need to recalibrate my expectations because, A, this dip is normal, as I just proved. So given that the distance under the 21 is not normal, it is directly attributed to something else not being normal, which was this rise. A, and B, that it consolidated at a top of a range being falsely propped up, which allowed the 21 to catch up too fast, or too much, for too long. So had it not been propped up, this dip would have happened earlier. The 21 would have been a lot lower, like at 39. It would have hit 39 and we'd be good. It would have hit 61, hit 39, good to go. But since it was falsely propped, that is the culprit. Essentially, if you want to try to make logic of this, that would be the justification for not being concerned about it being under the 21. because it's associated with other non-normal behavior that's in the other sense, the stronger, more too bullish sense. So yes, so I think I need to recalibrate my opinions, how strong they are about the weekly 21 is my final answer to that. Now, am I concerned in general? Yeah. But that, you know, I need some hopium too, okay? I believe in Bitcoin, and but from a logical standpoint, it does make sense. Okay? No, I think the dip happened. No, it's too early. Because look, this dip that happened in March of 2017, I don't know if this is what you're referring to. No, this bull run's 5 months ahead. So, but yeah, I was calling April to be this month, and it happened a month late. That's why on my channel in late March, I said, okay, guys, I'm feeling the market's too hot. Singles in April, singles in April. You need to adjust your mentality before it happens. So you're not caught with your pants at your feet. Because it was just a party. You know, you could buy Veracity, buy Repro, and you'd be up like double your money in 5 days for an entire month at a time. That's going to happen again here soon, actually. But I would assume. Might be July, though. So that's why I was warning people before this happened. I think April's going to be a month of singles. Prepare. So yeah, I think it basically being falsely propped up, this absolutely would have happened in April. This market was propped up falsely. Absolutely. And that's already been confirmed, like mathematically and everything. Credits. Yeah, I like credits. I have that coin. Yeah, it's above its weekly 10. That looks great. Its posturing is really strong too. I like that. So that's kind of like that duck, you know, the head with the bill. Like that's usually a power move play. This is a good shape to have in crypto. Yeah, that looks like this looks good, actually. Good call on that. That's a great posture. Propping of exchanges. I think the Coinbase execs had a few private dinners with the other exchanges, seeing how so they can, you know, make plan to make a lot of money from the news of Coinbase going IPO, and then so it was all orchestrated. Release news about Cardano and about being on Coinbase, which is not news. That's 2017 stuff. That doesn't apply. Things getting listed on Coinbase doesn't freaking matter anymore, right? Why do YouTubers keep telling people this? Like, oh my God. But I warned you, and I was the only one warning people, and I shorted Cardano, and I showed you my trades, and I was correct. So yeah, but propped up by Cardano news, then propped up by Coinbase IPO news, and then propped up by essentially propped up by Ethereum taking off. And that might not have been in their plan. Might have just been damn convenient. Like that was a result of them propping up. Like people truly thought the market was bullish. And perhaps the market stayed propped up longer than they anticipated after they had propped it up that long. So yeah, I think the exchanges, they're the whales of crypto. I mean, Richard Hart, Richard Veer, Satoshi, his or herself. Hell, Satoshi might be a woman. I can't believe more people haven't talked about that. But I have 3 daughters, so I'm a little biased towards those thoughts. What's Speedify Fund? Look up. Can you give me a ticker?
It's a swap only coin. Be careful. So it's only done a 10x. It's coming to correct. It's correct about 70%. I mean, it looks pretty normal for a newer coin. Let me see if I can it's a pretty normal looking shape. I mean, it looks like play. It just got really hot really fast, and then so this looks, I mean, honestly identical. Look, it's the same exact shape. Watch. See that? Just to here. So I'm moving that off the screen on purpose. Like this, came back down, weekly 10. Came up, daily, weekly. Didn't have a weekly 10, but it'd probably be somewhere close to here. Yeah, it just got too hot too fast. It might come all the way down to $1.61. It doesn't have support anywhere. It's too young of a coin. So the only areas that people can come in and become a buyer, I guess you have the daily 21. Buyers might hold that, but if they don't, it's coming all the way back down to here, period. It will absolutely, if this 21 doesn't hold, it will not stop here. It will stop where this touches that wick. This is where it will go, like with a 98% likelihood. However, what could end up happening is it just simply wicks down real quick, then comes right back up. That can happen too. But it will not stop somewhere in this. It won't stop here. Like something like that. That ain't going to happen. So you need to be careful about that $1.62. If this can't hold, it's going to hit $1.62. Yep. And you always got to think about it. Why? Because that's where buyers will step in. The only way prices go back up is if buyers step back in and become buyers again. So Raja, did you have a question? Yeah, I am definitely holding my personally, not financial. This is Pokemon ADB cards, but yeah, I like ADB a bunch. I have really good hopes for this coin. I think the prospects of it being fairly similar to it has multiple elements of high similarity with BAT, with BAT. And BAT's a huge project. And so a lot of times when you have competitors that are that much smaller in an unsaturated space, so all of your Ethereum killer space, that's too saturated. So the rule doesn't apply to oversaturated spaces. Like the NFT space is probably oversaturated now. So this won't apply. But in unsaturated spaces, like at the time, 2017, the first mover in decentralized cloud, well, there were only about 4 competitors. What did those 4 competitors do? They were way undervalued compared to the first one, so they kind of snapped up in price. That is part of my thought process with ADB, with BAT. You know, dealing with ads and marketing on the internet with crypto and blockchain. It has a different means to a similar end. It's not using it through a browser, through my understanding, but it's dealing with providing more revenue or more perks for both the consumer of the information of the content and the content creator his or herself. I like that.
I like that it had its weekly cross and had a retracement. So it should be ready to freaking go once the market gets good. I think it's oh, and you know what I really like about it? It doesn't have, like, its next resistances are really high. Like, yeah, it might go on a 700% move, come down and correct for a couple of weeks once the market's not down to this, and then look where the next one is. I mean, like the gaps, it could stop here too. So then it might go like this, come back down here, rest, and come up to here, do another, no, it'll go higher than that. So it might actually get blocked here, come rest on that. But it doesn't have many pit stops. So once it gets past this obstacle of this, the next pit stop is probably that, ping off here, come rest a base here, and then go to the next one. Like, that's why I like it. It has so spread out of resistances. It's insane. And then look at the next one. To race to its all-time high, another 4.2 times your money. I like the spacing of the ceilings. That's what I like the most. I think this sucker can run multiple times really nicely, especially now that it's at its cross and a retracement. That's why I like it. Yep, OMG is kind of like an OG coin. And dude, if you want to ask me a couple questions, that's fine. You just spent $10. You get more than one. You don't have to spend that much money, dude. But thank you for that. Oh God. Oh. Okay. Was it ENQ that had this exact shape? I'll come back to this. Hold on. I'm just. Yeah. Okay. So, ENQ did actually break out. So just a couple of weeks ago, ENQ was exactly like that exact same shape. So it was the same exact graph. So when you have this, so the reason I'm relating it to this is because a lot of coins behave if the posturing is the same, sometimes the reaction's the same. So if you can find a coin that had the exact identical posturing, you can expect a similar result. However, the cool thing about it is if it wants to pop, if it decides to pop after the market's steady, it won't like do all this. It might just come down and retrace to the high and then keep going. Or it might just stair step for a while if the market's not as like crazy. So you would have to associate this with, hey, this might not repeat itself. But yeah, so going back to that coin, OMG. Yeah, it already kind of tested this, so it's kind of poking its head up towards, yeah, it's probably going to make a pretty nice blue sky breakout. I don't anticipate it. Now, what it might do this. It might want to break out kind of soon, come back down and test this to build up a little pressure between here and here, like this, instead of just screaming up, right? So it might poke its head above, come back down, maybe just a couple weeks, not till October, right? So maybe I should do this on the day. But this would happen over like a couple months. Poke its head back up, build some pressure, stair step, and then when it gets past this, then take off one more time. Yeah, I mean, reasonably, if it does that, It could actually go significantly higher than that, though, in a blue sky breakout. Yeah, I would say, you know, if it does something like that by the end of the year, it could find itself between 65 and 183. Something like that, or slightly higher. That's still not that aggressive over its previous all-time high. Yeah, that might be about right. Yeah, I would say in that range somewhere. But that's a pretty aggressive move. I mean, maybe I should spread this out a little bit, but to December, something like that. All right, didn't ask any other questions. Yeah, that's what I got for that. Oh, seller hold. OMG? Looks pretty good to me. This is the time to be buying, not the time to be selling. It's hitting its daily 89. That's been the trend. Dip on the daily 89. Dip on the daily. This is the time to be buying it. Why would you buy the most perfect, like, according to the trend, the most perfect time to buy this when it's the daily is under its 89. Under here. This is the time to be buying it. So, in terms of Pokemon cards and entertainment only, no. You don't sell OMG Pokemon cards at this time. No way. No way. Absolutely not. MTV was looking strong earlier too, at a base at like the 0.007. Oh fuck! It broke below it, didn't it? Sorry for my language. Yeah, I made this line here for a reason. I thought it could take a poke. That's capitulation for you. People in our community getting scared out. It'll pop right back up. Shit, this might be my opportunity to buy more. Yeah, you're probably not gonna see that price again on this asset. Not financial advice, but however, if you do know, I just said what's not common, that it comes to test. So a prior high, it actually did come test the lower end of that zone, which would be like Bitcoin hitting 30K. So this one actually did test that. Let's look what it looks like on a weekly though. Yeah, it did. It did actually just end up doing that. But it would that have happened without capitulation elsewhere? No, it wouldn't have happened. Which means statistically, it's still not very likely because capitulations like this they don't happen often. Yeah, I'll do VeChain. Ooh, somebody likes Origin Trail. I used to love holding that. It's hitting its daily 200. That's a deep dip. I mean, now Bitcoin's under that. So here it came to play in the middle zone of its prior mountain zone, right? So its prior high area, it came to play the middle zone, which is more common. And because it often aligns with other things, like an EMA. Yeah, that looks like a great, I mean, most things are going to be a great buy opportunity right now, I'm telling you. There you go. There's another one. Like, that's actually a really good spot. That's almost too perfect. Did I just... Or no, that's Origin Protocol. Sorry, track. My fault. Well, whatever that is, that looks pretty good too. What is that? OGN. If that's a small cap, I mean. Nope, not a small cap. Too big for me. That is what she said. All right. Anyway, sorry. Track.
Yeah, I think this coin started on KuCoin. I'm almost certain that it did. Because I bought it when it, like, right after the ICO ended. Here. I waited for the ICO to end, bought it. And I rebought. I just had a feeling, and Argent Trail during the bear market was one of the ones that, like, one of the coins that actually started help with this movement up. And a lot of altcoins followed suit of Origin Trail. I think Cardano did this in the bear market. It might have been Tron in the bear market. A few of them did this, and Origin Trail was one of the initiators of it. It found some type of bottom and just like wanted to go up. And a few coins did that. But yeah, I remember this. I've looked at this coin quite a bit. But I decided to go with Tone more in terms of logistics and tracking and all that stuff, and using blockchain to do that. Wonder why this happened. If you're holding this coin, you need to know why this happened before the bull market started. That why did this? Did they probably released a mainnet and YouTubers talked about it. This is so this honestly could actually be suppressing price history a little bit, because people who were interested in this, they got it and they got burned, and it's going to be hard to get a lot of people to step back into being buyers. And people who are learning of this coin at first and they look at the chart, they see this shit, they might be less inclined to become buyers. So, but if they can ignore this, I mean, you know, and you get a more normal chart like this, looks pretty damn good. I mean, it's hitting its daily, like, almost everything's going to be a good buy. I would wait till it hits this line again. I would wait till it gets to maybe 1035 with 4 zeros, right? I'd wait to that. It's at 1108 right now. I'd wait a little longer. So it's kind of got like that duck formation happening, you know? Quack. That's typically a good posture. It's a really common posturing in crypto. Brent, what are we saying? Oh, Via. Okay, fine. Yeah, hit my target. See if it finally hit its weekly. The moment I've been waiting for. And it's only 30 cents higher from the moment I started waiting on it at 70 cents. Told you. Told you it hit it. Shit, that took a long time, didn't it? $77 days, but it finally did what I was looking for it to do. When I've reassessed, I think enough of my portfolio is already in Via. So, but yeah, this is the moment I've been waiting for. I ended up buying it like at 80 cents on the way up anyway. So I just took not quite as safe of an entry as I wanted to, but I still took the entry at a higher risk. When it was kind of like breaking out of this formation, I said, okay, I buy breakouts too, right? That's justifiable. I like buying breakouts, and I bought it at 80 or something. But most of what I have, I bought between 18 and 24 cents in the bear market. Yeah, this looks fantastic. This is what you want. This is the moment you drool about, like, and you dream about. Like, you have Via dreams, right? Via dreams. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's perfect. What can I say? That's perfect. Totally perfect. All right. Oh, Vertcoin. Yeah, I like, so Vert is kind of a like these two compete. Vertcoin already got 51% attack, so I think it's done, folks. Personally, it never really started performing again anymore. Like, look, it broke all-time lows versus Bitcoin. That means something bad has happened. When you break that, that's bad. But it's because it got 51% attacked. I mean, it had to roll back its blockchain. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. See how VIA stayed above, or it leveled out at the same place? Vertcoin's not doing that as a sign of weakness, so I would rather be in Grossocoin or Viacoin than this any day of the week. Just by this alone. By this being under this so significantly. No way. Nuh-uh. I don't like that. Now, if there's some fundamental reason, like news or something, you know, yeah, maybe. But from a trading standpoint, I would pick a different coin that is in a similar space that did not show such signs of weakness. IOTA. Shrimpy? What do you want me to say about Shrimpy? I've locked in my positions at really, really good buy entry points, and I'm waiting for the market to recover. I stress that people, if you're going to follow the leader, only do it during dips. So if you did and you follow the leader, we're going to be good. Once the market takes off, it's going to be glorious. But the strategy of my Shrimpy account is to enter very, very, very safely. And then after a dip, or yeah, when things recover, rock and roll. So yeah, all my entries were and honestly, my account has grown versus Satoshis. So the amount of Satoshis I've been accumulating is actually pretty damn nice. It's just the value of Bitcoin has gone down so much recently that I think total, like, I don't know, I think it might be down like 10 right now, something like that. From some of my entries, but at this point with this rebound, it's not very much. But yeah, I had a plan. I started executing my plan, and I'm waiting to finish executing my plan. So it's going pretty much as planned. I did all very, very safe, aggressively low entries. Pretty good. I don't know what Horde is. Yeah, so that's Shrimpy. I mean, and I think the links on some of my videos and stuff. But yeah, and then I'm going to make it a second account. So once the market recovers, then I'll make it a mid-cap altcoin so I can be in and out. So no matter the day you join, I'm in and out of trades, so you don't have to plan to be in when everything's in a dip. But there's no point in doing that if the market's not confident. I don't want, yeah, there's literally no point. But all of my entries with my current Shrimpy coins were awesome. I only bought super safely, like extreme, like gray line, under gray line safely. Yeah, I think, yeah, Shrimpy's going just as planned. It's just Bitcoin's not going as planned. So whenever Bitcoin goes as planned, then Shrimpy's going to rock and roll. It's going to be awesome. If it doesn't hold this wick and this wick as support, its next stop is this, 9.8 cents. It might hold these two wicks, though. It kind of looks like it's going to. But if it doesn't, it's going to come down here and nail, well, like it'll go roughly to a dime, 10 cents. Yep, you want it to stay. So on the weekly scale, if you go to weekly candles, you want price to recover above and around these two wicks, previous wicks. Because if it doesn't, it will touch this. It has no, well, it could just hit the 21. Actually, I take that back. It does have the 21 in play, so it has 3 areas where it might stop. And that's, you know, the 21, but usually things wick below the 21. So 11.3 cents, 10 cents, and current price. Around this wicks. Yeah, that's got 3 options that are all very probable. Or they all have a strong possibility, like a double-digit percentage possibilities of happening. Yeah, any of these guesses might be as good as the other. And since it's been so bullish, perhaps this top guess is the best guess. Yeah, because VeChain has a huge like fan following and support, so it's got a big buy pressure up. So it could easily stick that. What is Horde? It went straight up. I wouldn't be into this. No way. So it went 821% up. It needs to do a 60% correction. So I got it. Yeah, I mean, that might be about right then. So a 60% correction takes it to its daily 21. And why do I have this green box here? Because this is a buy zone. And what is it doing? Coming back to its previous high, just like Bitcoin and all that stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty good right now, actually. However, I don't like getting into newer assets. I feel that you can't be the house on your entries. What about Trias? Me letting people know it was going to hit this and then it hit it? You want to see me call this before it happened, like 5 hours before it happened, when people were saying I don't believe it'll go that low? Is that what you're referring to, or something else? Or the vector of buy force up being, you know, orchestrated. That is true. Yeah, and you can tell that by how far above, like even the 2-hour gray line, it was. It clearly it was writing it earlier. Right? It was playing this line, period. It was. Here and here. And after $2.77, its behavior changed. Never came down to touch it. So why were people buying it? Like, it's too far above this line it was previously playing. And so all of this is reminiscent of orchestrated buying. That's why I got out of it. I took like 30% profits, you know, just to ride that breakout with you, show you, hey, I'm buying a breakout with you guys. You know, I know you're pumped about this coin. And then I put on my ribbons. I was like, whoa, it is. I think it was this breakout. Yeah, it was this breakout here. Because I got it at the $6 mark and it went up and then it slammed on our faces. But then the next like day it went right back up, right? Yeah, so right here I decided, I'm taking my profits. This is not a safe entry for me. Even if it is a breakout, it's too far above this line. I don't like this. It's too unsafe for me. Yeah, it had a change of behavior. That happens because of people. Like, people's buying decisions became different than what people's buying decisions were earlier. Sometimes that's a good thing. But if you see its trajectory is too aggressive, that it's not possible for Trias to sustain this trajectory, which is also reminiscent of orchestrated buying. It cannot hold this trajectory. It is literally mathematically impossible. So therefore, if it's on a trajectory that's mathematically impossible, why would you be buying it until it hits that gray line? It's that simple. It's honestly, this is easy TA on this. I'm sorry so many of y'all got duped, but right now it looks like a pretty damn good time to, like, now it looks like a safe entry. But don't expect it to like fly high real fast, but it could hit this one more time. But if it hits it one more time, it's the likelihood of it hitting one time after that is probably under 5% chance. Yeah, it could hit it one more time. I would expect it to get if it does, it'll like scream up, crash through here, and go like this. Like form a support right here at the prior high, and then it should ride this line. Maybe come up, break through. So it's going to go sideways for quite a while. Unless it picks a different trend line like this, or wait, more like that, it could just form a trend line somewhere between here and here. These three. It might form something like this. So that's possible too. But I have a feeling that if it does fly up, it will come down below here and it'll go sideways for a month, just like BPRO. It'll be a whole month. Maybe 15 days. It'll go sideways for a while because it needs to allow it room for its ceiling to keep going higher with time. So when it does a pump, it can go up to $150. So it's got, yeah. So if it screams one more time, it'll just go sideways for a lot longer. Yeah, that's my analysis on it. But right now, it looks like an okay time to pick it up. That's a safe entry, folks. What you guys were doing is not safe. Like, honestly, like what was happening there was so against the premise of my channel. It's really a bummer so many of you, had gotten into that stuff. Looks like a good safe entry to me. 4-hour gray line. There you go. Weekly 10. It's probably under it or at it. Oh, it doesn't have a weekly, is it? Yep, under the weekly 10. That's a pretty no-brainer buy in crypto land. And it's hitting nice support here. Like, look at this. Oh, see, I already drew this line. Ha! Told you guys it'd probably come back down here. It's just a common play. Yeah, when people were asking me about this earlier, this way up here, I was like, guys, it could come all the way back down and test this prior high, which is what everything's been doing. So yeah. Yep, I think that was it for that one. It might wick a little lower, but this is a nice safe entry for this coin. It's actually a very good entry structurally. If I can ignore Bitcoin and Ethereum, which could affect this, but this asset alone, this looks like, honestly, a picture-perfect moment. And that's why I was buying more Tone and West. They look very similar. Look at West. Well, West is a little choppier, but it had come up, broke, and it came right back down to test. Tones might look even more similar. See that? So this is why I have this line here, because it's such a common play. Where did it hit? The line. Just like pancake swap. It's the same thing. Like, it's just one of the most common plays in crypto. And it's actually what Bitcoin's doing right now. More hopium like that. I think that was it, folks. Like, but it might not be. It might do have a 1 or 2 more pushes down. It might. Yeah, pancake swap looks like a really nice safe entry right now, which most things are. I mean, most things, like, you could just literally start buying anything in crypto right now besides map. That's like the weakest looking coin. It just broke under its weekly 10 and never got back above it. So this broke through this line and it's testing this now. So really, anything in this box from here to here, so from wick to candle, this is probably a good buy. It's a good chart buy. I mean, it makes perfect sense. It's got all types of support at the bottom, right here. That candle body's here, and then you got the candle wick there. This is a good zone. Like the same play, a pancake swap.
Oh, yeah, Tony. You know what? I never posted who won. I need to. Yeah, I need to post their memes. And Tony put it together for me. I just didn't post it. Shit. But yeah, the honorary house members, I do have them, and I actually just talked to. Oh, part of the reason I just pushed out my dash or the leverage long stuff to all patrons is because one of the honorary house members, who's a cryptillion, we might or might not have talked about him using leverage and how that was going. So when I learned shit, cryptillions are getting bored with their coins that aren't moving, and they're selling their coins at potential bottoms to go lose it and leverage. I was like, no. So many people just got screwed from people leading them to buy unsafe entries. No. Don't use leverage after that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I have multiple cryptillions and a VIP and crackheads, you know, with no charge, no extra charge. And they're even on the house group calls and everything. So, but I didn't post their actual names, and Tony did put that together for me. I simply did not post, so I didn't do that. Thank you for the reminder. Wait, what hurts? Oh, the red dildos up your bunghole. I know. But you need to start liking them red dildos. They might hurt now, but once you loosen up a little bit, put some oil on it, man. You need to like it. I'm serious. Like, sexual jokes aside, I'm serious. Like, you need to like this. Ugh, it's looking weak. But it's hitting its prior high, just like BPRO. Got too hot too fast, tested prior high, and no one believed it would come down this low. Yep, that looks about right. For a coin that got too hot too fast because the YouTubers talking about it. And honestly, BPRO wouldn't have gone sideways and corrected so hard had a big YouTuber channel talked about it and all his viewers bought it. It wouldn't have happened. This is, you know, this and BPRO is the product of big YouTubers. And honestly, this was the worst YouTube coin I had seen in a while. I felt so sorry for people buying this around here throughout March. That's why I tried to save that's why I made so many videos with Omi in it and tagged Omi. Because I knew people were getting to be screwed and they just didn't know it. That is why I made all those videos. Even if the video didn't have Omi in it, I tagged Omi. People say, this is clickbait. This is clickbait. No shit, I'm trying to help you. Like, seriously, you're gonna get screwed. That's why. Because I knew it was going to happen. With BPRO, I literally told people to sell at 4.3 cents at the top. Literally, and it's on video. And I even posted a recap of it like a month and a half later recently on Twitter. Yeah. And Patreon. Like, sometimes you just gotta trust me a little bit, you know? It's, you know, on Bitcoin, market, you know, calls are all going to be perfect. No. But on things like retracements and the movements of coins, my guess is likely going to be better than yours if you're new to crypto. So just try to overcome that. I mean, I'm here to help, but it's so hard to see how I help until you need the help, but you didn't listen when it was time to help. So that's why I was doing clickbait with Omi, because of this shit. I just knew it was coming. And right when I saw BPRO scream 4.3 cents, that's I literally told y'all to sell. That's what YouTube does to people. Yeah, okay, so thank you for that feedback. Was it Saber? Yeah, Masha. This is why. Like, this sort of stuff is obvious to me because I've been through it. I've been burned like you before. I was 50% down and shit on my coins last time because I didn't know how to enter safely. I listened to YouTubers. That's how people learn of coins and Burnonomics. However, is this a good time to get it? It probably is. This looks like a great buy point. This is the type of stuff I like because this is how I enter. And if it's not giving me a good entry, I go find something else. And then I'll check back. Oh, hey, is this now a good entry? Okay, I'll go, since I entered so nicely on this other asset that has then gone up, I will sell, and now I'll come back and buy UMI right here at a safe entry. That's how I do things. Safe entries. But yeah, I mean, it happens, but that's why my channel exists. I'm trying to help you guys not get in that position. And sometimes it takes learning once to not do it again. Chasing green candles and YouTuber hype. You chase YouTube, oh, even people who chase Theta. Theta people got screwed. Hearing YouTubers say you need Theta in your portfolio when it was like up here after like 5,000% increase, I just, oh, if I were a hacker, I would like make it so you can't post videos. But I honestly know nothing about computers. I would never be able to do that. Hell, I barely even know how to use Discord. But like that's the type of feeling I get like when I see YouTubers say this damn shit. The only reason you're talking about it is because noobs want this. They love buying tops, and you're helping fuel this shit. Oh, and when was I doing videos on Theta? When it was screaming up, trying to help people not buy that. When did I make videos on Pirate Chain? When I knew it got too hot. What happened to Pirate Chain after I started talking about it? Whoa, no way. What did Pirate Chain, how did Pirate Chain roughly end up moving? Almost exactly how I drew it. It's just this first hump wasn't quite high enough. Easy. And I actually haven't checked back on this. I didn't know. So I do this before it happened. Told you there's a lot of money to be made in the ranges. So I can just see the movements. So two coins that honestly did not move the way I expected were Ethereum and Dogecoin. No one could guess Dogecoin. That was just mania. Ethereum, I had a bad call on Ethereum. It was way stronger than I thought. But other than that, I've seen the price movement, guys, before. Like, I'm trying to help you guys not think, oh, it's going higher. No, no. It's going to go sideways for like 80 days now. But, you know, but it's not obvious to other people, but I'm like, you know, I'm trying to save those people who don't see it, you know? That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm so pissed that a pump and dump formed my damn Patreon. It makes me so upset. Like, not so upset, but it just, I don't know. It's just, it's not right. Like, that's what I'm against. Jeez. I already did XRP. XRP looks awesome. It's above its weekly 10. It's got a great posturing. It looks great. Honestly, that is my analysis. Like, XRP looks good. Who's he? Andre 500. I didn't name any names. Do you know who I was referring to? I was trying to be vague enough where I wasn't, But yeah, Andre, I know YouTubers talk about shit only because it's already been parabolic. Like, oh, yeah, I actually wasn't referring to BitBoy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, you know, however, I do give his channel some credit. I mean, I think he has a good intent. I think he does. Now, some of the folks he associates with, I don't have those same opinions. But, you know, he's not a great chart person. That he doesn't pretend to be either. That's why he invites other people on his channel. So he misspoke. He should have relied on people who come on and talk about price action. Now he talks about cipher and dots and stuff, but he's not reading charts. He's just looking at an indicator, right? So I don't think he led people astray on purpose because he had just bought it. I really don't believe that. However, was that horrible advice? Yes. Very bad. Like, I could have told you, no, stay the fuck away from this until it goes sideways for about 2 months. Then buy as it's forming a duck shape or like an oscillator shape like this. There before it takes off. This is when you want to do it. Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here. Here. But yeah, I wasn't actually referring to him. But there were several YouTubers saying, oh, talking about it, I would get it. Man, yeah, I'm surprised entering safely in coins is not more popular. It's not very hard, especially if you've been in the space for 4 years. I'm surprised he would say that. But yeah, I actually don't diss on BitBoy too much. I think he has good intents in mind. Are the results of what you see always good? I mean, maybe not, but mine aren't perfect either, right? So, but yeah, that's not a safe entry if anybody said that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's who I was referring to, French, exactly. But he doesn't, well, actually, there are some crypto news folks who do try to be price analysts, and that is confusing to me why they would give that attempt. I don't try to talk about the news, but yeah, a lot of people are doing it. It's just YouTubers in general. That's why I'm here, because this is what YouTubers do. They pick up coins after it does this, start talking about it, and screw all the people buying here, which honestly is most of the people. Because in order to get price action after this type of run to keep going up, you need more money here than you did all through here. You really do. That's why it screws so many people. Like, people get so screwed listening to YouTubers. Brandon, I like your question. That's slick. All right, all right. I approve of that type of. I like questions like that. That was pretty well crafted. All right, all right. 60 game hasn't 60x'd, by the way, if this is the right one. Yeah, that's only 14x'd. 13x'd. So there's been no 40x here. But its posturing looks pretty good, actually. Is this the right one that I'm looking at? Oh, wow. I would assume this is dead. I don't know. I'm wary of getting into coins that have been around this long that are underperforming. To agree, that was one hell of a run, though. My God. Wow. Up to 0.002 Bitcoin. What was its market cap? What do I think of Elon as a person? He's weird. I like weird people, though. I think he's somebody who asks why not or what if. I think he doesn't care about having tact, which I also like because my feelings aren't hurt very easily. Do I get defensive easily? Yeah, but I try to catch myself doing that. But my feelings aren't hurt. I think he's seriously trying to help the human race by getting us off this planet before an inevitable catastrophe is going to happen at some point. It could be 50,000 years till it happens. Could be 150,000 years. But it also could be 30. And so he knows that. So he's legitimately trying to be the person who sets up the human race to be saved in that catastrophic event. That's literally what he's trying to do. He's trying to help humans stay alive as a species. I don't know. What is there not to like about that? Like that he hurts people's feelings? Who cares? He's trying to help save the human race from a potential huge catastrophe. So, I don't know. I don't know what there's not to... I mean, he's weird. Yeah, is it okay not to like weird people? Okay, but smarter than both of us, probably. So he can be weird. You know? A lot of really high IQ people are pretty weird. Actually, most of them are. Like the really high IQ people. Yeah, this line is really important. This $2 line. Once Onion closes a month up here, so closes. So it's already wicked up there twice, which honestly is good. Oh no, didn't wick up to 2 yet. But once it closes a month here, dude, this is gonna fly. It might take till September for it to close the month there, but then it's gonna do nasty gains. Nasty gains. But it needs to close the month there. It's going to go wild. Yeah, it's got to close above these on a monthly. And then a ton of buyers are going to step in. That's all you need to know. Monthly close, $2 Onion. Just put it on your calendar. You know, you can't put it on your calendar. You don't know when it'll happen necessarily, but you know what I mean, figuratively. All right, I got to go to sleep soon. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I know. He's unconsciously incompetent about crypto. No, you're right. That is a good point. Yeah, but that I kind of cover that in my he doesn't care about tact. So could that have disadvantages? Yeah, but over a long run, when you just let people know what you're thinking, I mean, well, maybe not if you're a person of influence. So yeah, I guess your point is pretty valid. Yeah, you probably should have a little bit more tact and education behind what you're saying if you're if you influence other people. So yeah, your point's totally valid. I wouldn't have any justification for what he's doing in that regard. He's definitely and he's getting wishy-washy on Bitcoin because he rushed in and liked it, and you know, that's not good for his business either to accept Bitcoin and not accept Bitcoin. He'll figure it out. I think since he backpedaled, he knows he backpedaled on stuff, so he'll probably talk about crypto in the future, being more educated about what he's saying. I just had pump dumps happen, and I had 226 people on this. So small caps being moved by 10 people with a normal amount of money is pretty high. I mean, not let alone other people. So just know that what I'm about to say, it could form. If it were to form a situation where green candles started printing, you're too late. But within our community, one coin that is a monetary coin, like Dash, Litecoin, all that stuff, that's way under the radar, is exclusive coin. I don't hold any of it. I don't want to hold any of it because I feel bad about buying coins, you know, that the community starts talking about that I think has a good chance of doing good gains. I don't want to benefit from it. But I did tell everybody, I think I might go on Bittrex and get this. But anyway, typically monetary coins go pretty good distance past their all-time high. So if it does that, that means the ROI, the potential statistically probable ROI on this is pretty astronomical. It's pretty high. It's even higher than that. And honestly, 𝐻𝐼𝐢𝐴𝐼𝐢𝐾oins is even higher than that. Like, 𝐻𝐼𝐢𝐴𝐼𝐢𝐾oin last run did 250,000 increase. But if this got to $3, I mean, it going to $30 is not really a big deal. For a monetary coin, bull run to bull run, 10x over the last one. So that's a 90x right there. 100x, $34. Yeah, at the time we were talking about it, it was a pretty easy, 100xer with decent math statistical possibilities behind it. Probabilities, no, I'm not going to say anything's probable, over 50% likely to get 100x, but among all 100x opportunities, this one looks pretty good. But if you get this and other people are already buying it, like, just wait. Don't chase green candles. Honestly, this nice wick down, it looks okay. I would chase a small green candle that corrected on itself. That looks okay. I would prefer to buy it when it hit its weekly 10. So technically it's not safe enough of an entry for me, but it hasn't hit it a couple weeks. And if it ain't hitting it during a freaking capitulation, might not hit it for a while. Might hit it up here at $1. Yeah. I mean, that's one. Ken got nicked by the SEC. I don't know if they're still a thing, are they? Structurally, I really like what I see, though. I love buying this. Cross on the weekly, nice big retracement into it. This is the type of entry I like. Like, honestly, structurally, not particular to Ken, but this is among the best buys you can get in all of crypto in terms of ROI, both long-term and immediate term. I think a retracement of the cross is like, and that's honestly what a lot of my shrimpy is. They're just sitting there waiting for get work done, and it's gonna be crazy awesome once it all starts going. I think my shrimpy cat literally is all but like 2 or 3 of the coins. So I have things spread out like 17, but like 15 to 17 are all buying that formation, exact formation, and it landing on the 4-hour gray line. So I did. Everyone's were doing this. Bam, bought it. And I think I bought all of them below the weekly 10. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. All right, H bar, and I'm done. I would want to know, before I even ever thought about this coin, I want to know why this happened. Was just this like an ICO that was overzealous and their starting price of the coins was too high? If you could make sense of this, then maybe you would want to look at it more. So let's say you made sense of this. Now you can look at it more. But honestly, I wouldn't consider this coin until I could make sense of this. And the answer made sense. Like, okay, that should not scare me off. So if I can ignore that, from its breakout point, but right there, it only did a 9x, so that's not actually that aggressive. Do you know how much money there is in this range? There is literally like 5 times more money here than there is from here to here. maybe 10 times. Wow. This is why I try to say buyers and prayers. Them just watching the money go up and down and don't go anywhere for like months, instead of just raking in the dough, which would be so easy. Oh my God, this is like the most perfect rate. Now, honestly, probably won't get any more range plays out of it. This is one of the most perfect range coins I've ever seen, but it's ranged too many times. I wouldn't try it anymore. I would assume it's going to break out once the market gets good. Yeah, I mean, it proved its base. It hit its weekly 21. It's basing off the 10. I mean, I really like what I see there, actually, a lot. Yeah, this is a great formation. This is very, very, very good. And honestly, this isn't that big of a candle, so maybe I shouldn't be so stuck on that. It's kind of big, but I thought it was bigger. That's what she said. Yeah, this has a lot of people who are into this coin, I can tell. It has a lot, like it has a very constant and heavy buy pressure up. People coming in, stepping in as buyers all the time. Got a pretty nice base behind it. I like the buy pressure of that one. And that's what I'm seeing in this formation. So that's why I'm not a big fan of people who do pattern trading. You don't understand the market dynamics behind why that is, why you like that pattern, why you trade that pattern, right? So, yeah, this means there's a big vector of force up of buy pressure, which means people are interested in this coin. People are talking about this coin, and putting their money where their mouth is. So this is a beautiful formation. I won't lie. Now, would I have liked to have my money stuck as a buyer and prayer in this forever? No. But if you're playing ranges, you just made 15x easily your money. Maybe 50. I mean, you could have. I mean, how big is this range? Maybe not 50. That's a little much, but yeah, I mean 10x. You could have 10x, 12x in here. Yeah, so I gotta go to bed. So hopefully we got some hopium. Hopefully I made up for not doing a live chat last time. Everything's gonna be fine, folks. Don't sell bottoms. Buy bottoms. Don't sell bottoms, buy bottoms. Slap bottoms. Slap or Bitcoin bottoms. Don't slap bottoms. I'm not condoning sexual harassment. That came out wrong. Slap bottoms, people. Hey, but Tim said. Police show up. No, slap bottom. Yeah, but you want to be buying bottoms, people, okay? So be prepared next time. It'll probably happen around September if I had to guess, and peace out. Thanks, guys.